In a small village, far away from the noise of the world, lived a poor boy named Ion. Every evening, while other kids played games and chased each other, Ion had his own ritual. He would climb the tallest hill overlooking his village and simply stare at the sky. He watched the birds as they floated on the wind, like kings of the air, fearless, free, and completely limitless. But Ion's world was anything but limitless. His family was struggling just to get by. His clothes were old and worn, patched up more times than he could count, and his pockets, they were always empty. Yet, despite all this, his dreams were bigger than the clouds he so admired. They were vast and full of wonder. One day in school, his teacher went around the classroom, asking the classic question, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" When it was Ion's turn, he stood up, a quiet smile on his face, his eyes glowing with an inner light. He said, "I want to touch the sky." The classroom erupted in laughter. Someone shouted from the back, "You can't even afford a new pair of shoes." The jeers echoed in the small room. Even his teacher, who was usually so encouraging, hesitated, unsure of what to say. But Ion didn't get angry. He didn't argue. Justo Ned walked out of the classroom and made a silent promise to himself. Dreams don't need anyone's permission. From that day forward, Ion started a new collection. He began gathering broken things that people had thrown away, old bamboo sticks, torn pieces of cloth, rusted metal scraps, anything he could find. His mother, worried, would ask him, "Son, why are you bringing all this trash into our home?" And Ion would answer softly, holding up a piece of discarded fabric. "Because I see wings in them, Mother. I see wings. Day after day, and long into the night." He worked. He built. He tested. He failed. The fragile frames would snap. The cloth would tear. He would get frustrated, sometimes cry, but he never gave up. He would just pick up the pieces and start all over again. The villagers would pass by, shaking their heads and laughing. "Look at the poor boy who thinks he can fly." They'd whisper to each other. But dreams that are powered by true passion don't break so easily. They just evolve. They get stronger with every failure. Finally, one morning, just as the sun began to paint the sky with hues of orange and pink, Ion stood on that same tall hill. But this time he wasn't just watching. Strapped to his back was a magnificent pair of handmade wings, crafted from all the trash he had so carefully collected. The entire village had gathered below, their whispers filling the morning air. They were all there, waiting, perhaps even hoping, to see him fail. Ion took a deep, steadying breath. He closed his eyes for just a moment, picturing the birds soaring above, and then he jumped. For a terrifying second, he plummeted. The wind violently shook his homemade wings. The crowd below let out a collective gasp. It seemed like their cruel predictions were about to come true. But then, something miraculous happened. The wings caught the air. He lifted. It was only for a moment, a fleeting, breathtaking moment. But he lifted. For the first time in his life, Ion wasn't touching the ground. He was touching his dream. He landed safely a few moments later, his legs a bit shaky but his heart soaring. The villagers just stared, completely silent, their mockery replaced by Ion, breathless and beaming, looked at them and smiled. "I didn't fly to escape the ground," he said, his voice clear and strong. "I flew to show that the sky belongs to everyone." From that day on, the boy who had nothing but determination became the boy who inspired thousands. His story spread far and wide, a powerful reminder that sometimes dreams don't need money. They don't need fancy things or anyone's approval. They just need courage. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please consider liking the video and subscribing to our channel for more inspiring content. We'll see you in the next one.